Yeah, I didn't have an intro. Hi, welcome back. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how many days, but it's been at least more than a week. And what? It's been exactly 84 years since we last streamed, and welcome back. It
84
is a Rise
years.
night for the first streams since our hiatus. Look at that. Aren't we so excited?
So excited.
So, welcome to the Rise of Tiamat campaign. This is a 5th edition module that I take a few suggestions from and tailor a campaign around it for some crazy wackos that decided they wanted to save the world. So, hi, I'm Vic. I will be your DM for the evening. Do we have any fun announcements coming up? I think there's a thing happening.
There
Oh
is.
shit, that's this month.
There
That
is
is
a
this month,
thing.
yeah.
Yes, we're gonna be doing Extra Life, which I should be putting a link on Twitch, and I will do that soon.
Do that.
Yeah, opening up my page. We're going to be participating in Extra Life on the opening notes 19th, from noon to midnight. We're gonna be playing tabletop games and a whole bunch of awesome games like Oops, Kobolds and Battle Royale and shenanigans. It's gonna be great.
Fantastic. I gotta build my baby boy for that.
Yes. I am having a lot of fun writing that one shot.
Oh,
Let
fantastic.
me tell you what. Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of silly RPG games. I know that Jess is going to be DMing a Skull Wizards game, so there's gonna be a lot of shenanigans. And yeah, I'll post that link in chat, and then I'll set up the donation button. I think that's what it's called. Widget. I'm not sure what the proper
We'll
term
call
is.
it a widget.
Yeah.
Doohickey is
Doohickey.
probably the more scientific term.
Ah, yes. But yeah, that's gonna happen on the 19th. So, and then tomorrow I'll have a meeting with somebody else, and hopefully I can officially make another announcement soon. But that's the big one.
Nice.
That's the big one.
Very nice, very nice. Let's see, stuff coming up. I know in October I'm going to be flying into the unknown, so I'm probably definitely not going to be running any games or being in any games that week, depending on how things are planned out. But we will see, because we are actively working on trying to escape the awful state that is Texas. Yay!
Good luck.
Yeah, no, good luck. It's only getting worse every day for me. So
Yeah.
who knew? But anyway, if there's no more announcements, there's links down below on the Twitch if you're watching on the Twitch webpage or whatever. My dad writes a book. You should go read that book. It's on Amazon. He has 2 right now. He's working on his 3rd and 4th, from what he told me today. So lots of fun stuff to look forward to. And you should also leave him a review, because he likes to read the reviews to know how he can improve as a writer and all that other good stuff. He's working on a website also, so that way there can actually be a website
That's cool.
for his books, so that way, because he's learning that there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. So he wanted to do a website, but first he wanted a newsletter. But in order to have a newsletter, you gotta have a website. So he's got to build his website first, so he can have a newsletter out, so he can start sending it to people that are interested in knowing what he writes next.
A vicious cycle.
Honestly, a very vicious cycle. Can't wait to know it whenever I do my thing. But anyway, I guess with that, let's go through introductions.
Oh, I have something.
Oh no, here we
It's
go.
been a while.
Oh yeah,
It's been a while.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Okay.
This is very Tiamat forward.
I feel like you've really played
Bad
this.
joke. This is Tiamat forward bad joke. Well, you know how this campaign has been going, kind of sad and all that stuff.
Mhm,
This campaign has been rough on our characters.
mhm.
They're having such a chromatic experience. The silent laughter is the best.
Wait, where is it?
I fumbled the timing. I was gonna do the rim shot, but
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. There you go.
Where is it? There you go.
beautiful, beautiful.
I just realized that I can use sounds from other servers here, so I don't have to.
Oh.
Just as long as it's not any
The servers!
weird anime noises, you're good.
I would not I
Also, because
promise.
it's been a while. Here's the second one.
Yeah, we gotta go for a twofer.
There was a sale at the Lego store. People were lined up for blocks.
I love
not
that.
I got plenty more, but that's all I got for now.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah, and your. I got I'm not even trying to make a joke out of that. Thank you.
So,
Thanks, Jeremiah.
I aim to please.
I appreciate having a moment to exhale more air than normal out of my husk of a body.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Trying to help you breathe. That's all.
Oh, is that what it is?
Breathing is important, I guess. So, with that, for those that are breathing, let's do introductions. Hi, I'm Vic. I will be your DM, and I might be a little hopped up on sugar because I have the most delightful little fruit cobbler that I made today, and it is delicious. So,
Oh yeah.
the DM might be in a good mood.
Is
We'll
it
find
with
out.
fruit? Is it with Fruit Loops?
I really missed an opportunity. I just don't have that high of a culinary, skill set to work with Fruit Loops.
Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't go to St. Philip's. Anyway, so for the person that lives here, if they're still around, hey Tabby, who you playing?
Rosemary, the sorcerer / ranger.
Fantastic.
I'm a tiefling. I forgot that part.
God, I would hope you are.
I think you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
I think it was a given already.
I'm a tiefling. We know.
We know.
It's okay.
When are you not?
Sorry, it's one of my
Other
two
Mondays.
that I have.
Kinda.
I mean, say Jesus, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm playing Tarsius Chadington. He is a Minotaur barbarian fighter who just wants to paint little wooden figurines that go on adventures and do taxes and go to the mall.
And eventually battle the BBEG of the campaign.
Eventually, yeah. One of these
Head
days.
of the PTA.
Yeah.
Let's go to the mall.
Beautiful. Hey, Jeremiah, who are you playing?
Oh, that's me. I'm playing Cordelia Chadington. Medusa fighter rogue blood hunter. I actually remember that one.
Nice.
Without
Just a
looking at
triple
my
threat.
character sheets.
You finally hit triple threat status. Good job. Very proud of you.
She
I think
looks up
there
to
needs
us.
to be that should be a feat for everybody who plays in a campaign to be a triple threat, which is a triple, multi-classer. Not because I'm biased or anything. Saying. So, hey, Sydney, who are you playing today?
I am Sydney, and I will be playing Nicodemus D. Hawkins, or Hawk, the human rune knight fighter. Yes.
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 That's a good state to be, yes. And the holiest and scoundreliest for last, because he's a criminal. Hey Lynn, who are you playing?
He's not really a scoundrel. He's
He's a criminal. I
Is
feel
He's
like
a
it comes with
criminal.
the territory. It comes with the territory.
But is he smooth?
No, he's not.
He's broken a few windows in his lifetime.
I'm playing Father Larkspur, the Tiefling Cleric of Ilmater.
Wonderful. All right, so with that, let us dive right into where we last left off. And let's roll that intro.
Roll on that intro.
All right. Okay. Here we go.
You sound like
I'm
you were
trying
just about to drop the hottest song of 2008.
I be 2000 and late. What? Here's this really funny thing where I actually can access their profile. Wild. So, anyway, I'll figure something out for that. So let's do a quick recap because I did not write any of it because this has been my life for the last 2 weeks. It's been nuts. So, you guys have, let me get some music going. Just saying for all of you ill-prepared DMs who just kind of wait for the last minute, vibes are okay too. Like you can just roll your way through anything with just vibes.
Just vibe it out.
Just vibe it out. See how your players are feeling. See how you're feeling. Just go for it. Anyway, so you guys have been in Termish, looking for the wizard tower known as Zonthal Tower. You received a letter from Janva, who is a cleric of Bahamut, who's been working closely with the city council of Waterdeep, and as well as a band of heroes and army of paladins and whatnot coming together to try to stop this cult of the dragon from bringing Tiamat back from the Nine Hells. So with this letter, you find out about this wizard named Iskander who's looking to defect from the cult, specifically from a section of red wizards that have aligned themselves with Tiamat over their current, very, lively leader in Thay. So, with that, you guys found your way to Termish, looking for this town. You found a blue dragon who was taking people from Hawk's hometown, Benatuan. Turns out he was actually bringing people back. He was dating Hawk's sister. It was a very weird conversation to have.
Yeah.
That conversation didn't really happen between Hawk and his sister because then Hawk's family in town got attacked. Hawk's parents kind of died because they were part of some human experimentations that were being used at the tower. That wasn't cool. We were a little sad about it, but that's okay because Hawk totally hooked up with the priest as like a sad rebound thing. Not weird. It won't have any repercussions whatsoever. It's not like the priest is trying to, kill himself to, avenge his sister. This is a great recap so far. But what matters now is that you guys have entered the labyrinth to Zonthal's Tower. Kind of like if Tarsius was a ranger, this would be his preferred terrain.
Yeah.
But he's not a ranger. He's just a very smart boy trying to learn magic. So, but there's labyrinths and mazes and there's monsters and we know things in that monsters and mazes and labyrinths.
Oh my.
Oh my. But
Whoa.
amongst trying to traverse the labyrinth of Zonthal Tower, you've discovered that the sundial kind of leads you in the directions that you need to go in order to collect these gemstones, these very kind of iridescent pieces of stone that don't really resemble any color whatsoever, but more so refracting all color in general. And amongst your travels there, you met some Cyclops, whatever you call them, as they had you play a little game throwing rocks. You entered a maze that was filled with, had a Medusa in it that was similar to Cordelia, but upon entering said maze, Cordelia lost her snake hair and at the same time regained it after what seemed to be almost like a trial to test her new abilities. What else did you guys do? Well, I think you guys are on your third one, where you've entered what looks to be a tea garden, where a robed figure, kind of obscured in shadow, had spoken to you all in Draconic. And those that drank the tea, or more so, were within the area of this person, understood what they were saying. And as they don't remember, did they give you the thing? I think they gave you the rock. I believe they did, because they turned the teapot and you heard something rattle inside, and from there you had the gemstone produced to you. But as the gemstone was produced to you, if it was produced to you, the water in the pond around you started to move on its own. And bit by bit, these ooze-like creatures started crawling their way out. And each of these ooze-like creatures resembled a face that Hawk knew. And those being faces that he knew from his past in Benatuan that had long since gone missing and now resided within this labyrinth. So, with that, we will get to our destination. It's in City Garden. Right here.
Tea garden.
City Garden. So we will have a little fight.
It's little.
Just a little fight. So let me get our counter up. We're in order. It's a sword now. Okay, why is it a sword? I don't know. Roll 20 is funny like that. Let's hit that. Bop, bop. All right. All right. Can we hear that? Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Go. Let us add turn. Oh wait. I did a thing. We're gonna just do that real quick because I can't. Boop. Alright, so we're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna have two sides. Alright. So I'm gonna have all of you roll me initiative.
Ooh, where'd it go?
Where did you go?
The initiative board disappeared from me.
Oh, I have it here. Hold on.
Oh. Alright.
Do you not see it?
No, not on my end. Do you guys see it? Like the rest of the players?
I see the initiative order.
Yeah, I can see it.
What the heckin'?
It said that you don't get to do it.
Because it's not your turn. You don't get to see it.
I see the word your turn, that's it.
Nope. That's weird.
Huh. It's like grayed out.
Weird.
It just says turn order. What? That's weird. Okay. Well, whenever it turns... Okay. It's there. What's my...
Alright. Alright, so let's get initiative rolling.
I have advantage on initiative rolls. Okay. Oh, now it's like really big. What the fuck? Okay. Oh, now I see it. Well, that's weird. But I only see... there we go.
Oh wow,
Okay.
these guys are really good at decks. Who knew? Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
they didn't roll very high. So first half didn't
Wow.
roll good. I only get my second half. Rolled better, of course. Let me... boop. There we go. Cordelia, of course.
I mean,
I should just put her at the top of the...
did you ever have a doubt?
Just let her live
Hey,
there.
there were
Just
moments where I was last, okay?
Sure.
win. Oh, okay.
Sure. Alright.
Just happy to roll really high this time.
Patience? Oh boy, okay. Just want to say from the bottom of my heart, my bad. So let's go top of the round. You watch as I will say the robed figure with the teapot will just kind of like set it down on the ground, and you watch as they stand, and as they stand, the robe falls away. And as the robe falls away, nothing is there. As they seem to have vanished.
Huh.
How convenient.
Yeah, very much. So, Cordelia, top of the round, what are we doing? As you're watching all of like these oozes just kind of like pull their way out of what looked to be water, but now it looks to be like it was part of them. As they're making these awful, like wet, kind of like groaning noises.
How high are we?
I would say you're about a good 5 feet up.
Okay.
Like it'll take them, it will take them a 5 feet of movement to climb up onto where you guys are.
And I guess so. If I move right there, I can reach them, right? Like these
Yes.
guys. Okay.
Yes, you can. They will be within reach. Yes.
Then I'll just do that. I'll just do 2 attacks.
All right. Roll me your 2 attacks.
Testing the waters, if you will.
Testing. Test. Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Good.
Stop.
First attack is 22.
I believe that hits.
The other one is just 14.
Only 14.
Sorry, 5 seconds. I think someone got in the trash.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Get out of there.
So you rolled a 2 to get that 14?
No, I rolled a 6.
Oh. Just so everybody knows. So apparently there's 2 types of way that you can do an extra life fundraiser. One where you just say, "Hey, I'm doing an extra life fundraiser," and you make it and you just start raising money. It just goes directly to them. Or you can link your actual fundraiser. So just so everybody knows, there's 2 different ways to do it on Twitch. One that actually has a link and one that has nothing attached to it, but all the money does go to it. Just for anyone in the future who wants to do it.
All right. So, Cordelia, what were those attacks?
22, and then the second attack was a 14. I don't know if that hits.
14 just hits.
Oh, okay.
So, give me your damage. What's your
I
damage, girl?
rolled 2d8s. And I rolled both ones. Both of them were ones.
All right.
So that is a total of a 10.
Okay.
Attacking actually 1 and 1. 1 here and 1 the
Oh.
other one. So that's 5 and 5.
Giving a right and a left. Got it.
Yeah.
So 5 and 5.
I'm still kind of freaking out with my snakes. And I'm kind of staring at them. I don't think I can do my powers right now.
We'll take it as
yeah.
We'll take
No,
it as, you.
I don't.
So
I don't
you
have
pull
any
your-
of the short rest on it, so
Right.
it's like I'm freaking out, kind of like that, and seeing if my powers activates just because I'm fighting.
All right, so you whip out your sword and you go to like it should be almost a simple maneuver. You've practiced it 1,000 times, but you're just so tired and like you were rattled from your last from that last maze that you were in. And as you kind of like swing down on these 2 opponents, you watch as your sword cuts into them, but you watch as like the gelatinous forms just kind of like close around your sword, and you like pull it back. As they took some damage, but it's just that they're so, weird.
Not as much as I could have.
Not as much as you kind of misjudged like how hard you needed to swing. Hard you need to swing. All right. Anything else?
I'm gonna keep it that or like that right now, so I'll end my turn.
Okay. All right. Larkspur, what are we doing?
Larkspur is going to cast Bless.
Okay.
at the 3rd level, so he's going to bless the entire party.
Oh,
All right,
cool.
let me get you them little bless icons.
Hashtag bless.
Don't forget your
Don't forget that D4.
bing.
D4.
Let me pick out the
beautiful
correct
D4.
D4.
Bing.
Larkspur, I think you're this D4.
Where is it? How does
Bing.
what?
What does bless do? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, as a cleric who doesn't actually bless people, what does bless
Wow.
Whenever
I
a
feel
target,
so
Demi has
safe
never
in that
blessed
party.
anybody.
whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add that number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw.
Bet.
Damn. Sounds like we really could have used a bless here and there.
Also, did we short rest at all or rest at all?
No.
I believe not. No, you guys just
No.
kept trucking.
We
Cool.
didn't short rest.
My spell slots are fucked. Thanks, guys.
I mean, after this, we could take a little nappy nap. Hawk has a great set of pillows you can lay on.
He will poison Hawk in his sleep.
And Hawk would probably say thank you. Oh.
Yeah, that's all.
Find himself with a nipple missing.
Ow.
That's that's all he's gonna do. He's gonna bless the party.
Okay. What did the peanut gallery say? Okay.
He got the other half of the conversation and just looked at me.
Oops. All right, so that's it for Lark.
Larkspur would like to revoke the bless from Hawk.
All right, Hawk does not get a bless anymore. There we go.
Lark
Goes
blessed
away.
him once. Apparently, that was enough.
You lost your bless privileges. Sorry.
He probably.
Okay. So everybody is. So in total, how many creatures does that count for? Just to see if that includes the little dragon.
At 2nd level, it's 5.
Okay, so it would count the dragon. Got it. 5. Yes. All right. Everybody's blessed. Everybody got a bless. All right. Is there anything else you want to do? No movement and nothing.
Yeah, he'll move because he's not in like sight of anyone. I don't think. Oh. We'll get the fuck out of there. Okay.
All right. As Lark, with the brain cell, leaves the area. Okay, next it is the bottom half of the oozes, since that is how I'm dividing up, since I have so fucking many. All right, so first up is the 2 that you attacked, Cordelia. So let us roll our attacks. So get my thing up. All right. Alright, so the first one is going to do a slam attack. And that is going to be a whole 10. A whole 10 to hit you.
Whole 10.
That misses.
Okay. Alright, so the next one is going to do this fun ability where it's going to start reaching its arms out to you, and you watch as the arms start to elongate and kind of become more liquid than solid. And
No means
it's
no.
I'm going to need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh. Well, that is a 24.
You pass. Otherwise, you would have been grappled, and it would have been a very bad time for you. So,
No means no.
no means no. Consent is necessary. The rest of these are going to start moving in as they are climbing their way up onto the pedestals. This one
Why isn't it resetting?
goes here. And it looks like they are all starting to... I'm going to have everyone roll me a perception as this is happening. So you're climbing up. You're climbing up here. Alright. And that one's gonna stay. So I'm gonna have Tarsius make me a dexterity saving throw.
Yes. 12 plus dex, so that's 15 total.
15 is a
DM
pass.
Goes. Sorry, I'm trying to reset cameras.
You're good. Does a 21 hit you?
Tarsius, yes.
Okay. All right, let me roll that damage for the slam attack. You'd think I'd have my d10s out, but I don't.
Everything moved. Okay.
Listen. Like the one that I don't grab. Sure,
That's-
that's a whole 4 bludgeoning damage.
Oh no. Okay. 4.
As another one is going to go for Cordelia. That is also a 21 to hit. That hits you?
That hits.
All right. That is going to be a grand total of 8 bludgeoning damage as you watch as it kind of like raises its like goopy fists up and it like brings it down on your head, and you feel a little dazed from that. As your snakes are also kind of seeing stars from that wallop.
Ow.
And then what did everyone get for their perception rolls?
A 7.
17.
17, all right.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay.
18.
18, all right.
16.
So everyone but Patience and Cordelia, this would have happened, like you getting clocked would have happened right after you see this. So you watch as this dude right here, who Hawk, you would recognize as Dark, the calligrapher. He would have been like a scribe in the town that would have sold books and whatnot. You watch as he shambles up to the teapot as it was left on the ground and reaches for it and picks it up and is now holding on to it.
We're still sad. So Hawk is probably just gonna like. He's gonna sit there. He's gonna look sad and like, I'm so sorry, expression on his face at this shambling calligrapher, and like. But he's just gonna kind of stand there, like frozen. Like, we're feeling real bad right now.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Tarsius. What are we doing?
Okay. I'm gonna move right here.
In the water.
Yep. How deep is it?
Well, it's not water. It's ooze.
That's a good idea. I'm doing it.
All right. I mean, if you jump into it, it's going to be. You'll be up to it in your waist.
Okay. I'm doing it. I mean, his only thought is, if I'm here, they're targeting me. They're not targeting anyone else. So
Okay.
that's where his mind's
So
at.
you jump in and you think you're gonna hit water, and instead you just kind of
Jello
into it, like
Okay.
jumping into a cold Jello,
Ew.
and not in the fun way.
All right. Let's. I don't think it calls for it just yet, so I'm not raging. So let's heckin' go. First attack is at a #bless. 19.
Get your bless.
I should definitely Great Weapon Master this because that's 19 plus 9 on the one directly in front of me.
That'll hit.
Okay. I'm gonna Great Weapon Master this one. And I'm gonna attack this one. The second attack.
All right.
So mine is 5, so 5, 9, so 18 on the second attack.
What was the number on that second attack?
18.
18. Yes, that hits.
Okay. Get out my D12.
Just FYI, reaction from Gren,
Okay.
infused strike. So add a D6 of necrotic damage along with it.
Ooh, thank you.
Because I have to remind myself, when another creature within 30 feet of the Drake that it can see hits a target with a weapon attack, the Drake infuses the strike with its essence, causing the target to take an extra 1d6 damage of the type.
Okay.
Allow me to visualize this as Tarsius. You're like 5 feet down, but like you can still see like head and shoulders, and Gren's just kind of like sitting on the ground, and he like scratches like his little neck roll. And then he like look, and you see as his eyes, like one eye is like kind of watching where you are, the other's somewhere else, and like the one eye that's watching you watches as your axe kind of like glints up as you arc it, and then he turns his head, and both eyes just focus in. Like they finally meet in the middle to focus, and you watch as it's just like,
All right. Well, that's
like
gonna.
spits a little bit of magic onto your axe.
That's gonna add a whopping 1 extra point of acid damage. All right.
Necrotic, I think.
Oh,
Right?
necrotic.
Necrotic.
Sorry.
Yeah, because the topaz.
Great weapon fighter. So I get to reroll that one. Okay, cool.
So you watch as like this black fire just kind of like consumes your axe.
Ooh. Okay. The first one is going to take a total of 6 plus 5. So that is 11 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And this heckin' one, the one that Grin totally helped me out with, is going to take 15, 16, 26, 27 points.
God damn. All right.
Great Weapon Master is doing a lot of work.
He's helping.
Yeah.
All right. You watch as Tarsius is just swinging like an absolute like machine. Just as he like takes his axe, he slices into the chest and shoulders of. Hold on, I'm pulling names out my ass now. This is where we're going with this. I'd say out of Maribel, who was kind of like the cheesemonger of the town, that made this really like she was really good at like dry aging like a lot of like cured meats and like cheeses and all that. And then he swings it around, and you watch as he practically cleaves in half Gunther, who was kind of like the local hunter that would be going in and out of the taverns.
Yeah.
Victor, you named him Gunter the Hunter?
Gunther the Hunter. Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I could have made Maribel the marble carver or sculptor. You know, that would have been funny. Anyway, anything else, Tarsius?
That's all I got.
All right. Hawk. It's your turn, buddy. What are we doing?
So he's kind of just not. He doesn't want to hit them.
As you see Dark just holding the teapot that you know has what you need in it.
He would like it's this one, right? Work with me, roll 20, please.
This boy right here.
Okay, that's where I was. Roll 20 doesn't want me to do things.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little cup
Please.
icon so you know he has the teapot.
Hawk is just gonna like walk and very calmly walk over it, well, there you go. And kind of address it. You said Dark?
Dark, yes.
Yeah, he's gonna look at him and be like, Dark. Like, I'm so sorry, but we need that. Well, we need what's in it. And he's
Roll
gonna
me-
kind of like reach like, not like aggressively like reach to take it away, but like kind of start to move his hands. Like, can I take it?
Roll me a persuasion.
Okay.
Don't forget your bless.
Oh, I don't need it. Plus 1 is a 21. So we got a nat 20, 21.
All right. I get to roll something now. Okay. So, as Hawk, you approach what used to be this, and you remember Dark. He used to have this quaint little bookshop that was like right on the corner, right just around the bend from Pav's Tavern, and you would love to go there as a kid to, read and kind of expand the world beyond the small town that you were from. And that's where you found the books on giant runes and like the fables around giants and the battles that they had with dragons. And you look at him and you look at what used to be him as he looks like Dark, but his features are like sagging and, kind of like, basically oozing off like back and forth as it's trying to hold shape. And for a split second, you see almost recognition in his eyes, or what used to be his eyes. And he doesn't give it to you, nor does he pull away, but as you grab the teapot, he simply lets you take it.
Okay. Hawk will like nod his head in thanks. And then open the teapot.
Alright, you open the teapot, and there inside you see the same crystal that you have been collecting. It's flat and kind of smooth and oval in shape. And it has that same kind of rainbow iridescence to it.
Yeah, he'll take the rock or the stone out of the teapot.
Okay. As your hand's a little big for it, so you have to kind of like tip the teapot out so you can get the stone, but because it's like one of those little iron ones, little stout
like an
ones.
iron pot.
Yeah, like the little stout, like the iron stout, like little, Japanese style teapots.
Okay, I was about to ask that because I'm like, is this a porcelain teapot or not? Okay.
It's metal. Metal.
Hawk would look at Dark and like hand him the teapot back and see if he wants it. But
you hand it back, and it just kind of slides out of his hands.
cool. Then Hawk will kind of just like kick it over into the water.
Okay.
Like obviously this isn't important. We got what we need. And just kind of like look around and be like, have them go. Like, I think this is what we need here for. So let's just yeet. And he already moved 10 feet. So he'd move 5. He'd start to kind of walk away. Like he's not gonna turn fully around, but he's gonna like back away. Still eyes on people.
Okay.
And that'll be all he does.
All right. So, with that, everyone is now joining in as they are starting to climb up.
You.
Yep. This one's coming over here. This one's coming over here. Alright. I'm gonna have the first two attacking Hawk. You recognize one as Herma the herbalist. An older, kind of cantankerous lady that was, a staple to the town. As she is making a slam attack. That is an 18 to hit.
That meets.
That means, okay. So, for a grand total of 8 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then coming up right next to her would have been her husband, Horace. And that will be... Actually, I'm going to have you roll me a dexterity saving throw.
And I'm not being poisoned, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's a 7.
7, so that is a fail.
Mm-hmm.
So as Herma went for her attack, so she just wails on you blindly. It gives Horace a moment to grapple you around the waist, and you watch as and Lark, you watch as this ooze starts to kind of envelop Hawk, as you are now grappled and you are being sucked into its body, and you are now restrained, and you are unable to breathe.
Oh, great.
Because it is technically like liquid, so unless you can breathe underwater,
Cool.
not working for you. And you are also going to take... Oh, fuck.
No, no.
15... Oh, Jesus. That is 26 points of necrotic damage, as the acid of its body is starting to eat you away. As, Hawk, the next thing you know, you were just enveloped in this kind of translucent blue ooze, and you can't breathe, and you kind of struggling to move as you were basically stuck in this solid, thick, viscous mass. And as you were just thinking, oh god, I can't breathe, next thing you know, your skin is starting to burn. So, next. Patience, I'm going to need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is a pass. Alright, and so next, the other one will make an attack at you.
Cool.
I'm assuming that an 11 does not hit.
No.
Alright, so next one is attacking Gren. That is a natural 1. It is not hitting the dragon.
Nope.
And then the other one that came up on Tarsius, that is a grand total of 7. That is not hitting anything.
Okay.
So, Patience.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okie doke. We are going to cast Fly on ourselves. And
All right.
she will take the opportunity attack.
Alright. How far up are you flying?
She's gonna go up 10 feet.
Okay. Just you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, because Gren's a little bit heavy.
Alright. So you just cast Fly on yourself, and let me roll that for the attacks. Does a 21 hit?
That hits.
And they also rolled another 21. So, let me
Cool.
roll. So that is... It is going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage, as they both manage to hit you.
Bludgeoning?
Yes.
Wait, how much?
15.
Cool. Ow.
as you get walloped real hard.
Okay. And she's going to expend. How many do I need to? She's gonna expend 1 sorcery point.
Okay.
Excuse me, 2. She's gonna
Okay.
have to do
Two.
this. To do a quicken spell.
Okay.
And she is going to cast Scorching Ray on the one that enveloped Hawk.
Okay.
And she's gonna do this at the base 2nd level. Okay, so 3 rays. I'm assuming a 15 plus 9 hits, maybe?
It does, yes.
Okay. I'm doing these individually.
So all 3 rays are going towards it.
Yeah, but I have to roll each of them individually.
Okay, that's fine.
So I maxed on the first one, so that's 10. Well, almost maxed. That's 10 fire damage for the first
Okay.
one.
So Hawk, you take 5.
Oh shit. 13 plus 9 to hit.
That hits.
That's 7.
Alright, so Hawk, you will take 4.
And the other one's dirty 20.
Alright, dirty 20 does hit.
And that's 9.
Alright. And Hawk, you will take 5.
Okay.
This is thinking, oh, if I hit it, it's gonna spit him out.
Alright, as you watch as the fire starts to burn away at the slime, but you also, well, you'd have to roll your perception actually.
Sure. That's better. That's an 18.
I mean, Hawk doesn't look like he's able to move much within this slime, but you can tell that it's like when it burns away at the bits that are holding on to Hawk, you see that also like the ends of his fingertips that are sticking out are also getting singed with fire. Oh, we didn't hear that.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, anything else, Patience?
That's all Patience is gonna do, and then Gren's gonna just bite the one that, well, he's going to bite the one that's in front of him.
Okay.
Or
Nice,
attempt to.
Gren watches as you fly up into the air, and he immediately like starts whining and kind of like spinning in a circle. Because how
Baby.
dare you abandon him? And he is going to take his frustrations out on the slime in front of him and take a bite. So roll me that bite.
You abandoned me.
How dare you, mother? You have abandoned me.
I just flew up 10 feet. I didn't move any more than that.
That's like
Oh,
practically 3 of him.
Well, I guess he really was pissed, because that was a natural 20.
This is the dragon that's going to end Tiamat. Just watch.
Bite that ankle.
It's gonna bite her on the toe, and that's what does it.
This little shit.
What do you do?
He almost maxed.
Okay, what was the damage?
Hold on here.
A delicious double damage.
Yeah, the 2d6. So 15 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Cool. That's
It-
nuts.
You know, maybe he could kill. I mean, weirder things have happened in this campaign. A green dragon got taken down by a jar of bees.
This is very true.
Look at that boy.
He's gonna start eating his ass on camera. Just watch.
Of
He'll do
course.
it. He'll fucking do it. All right. Anything else, Gren? Patience and
And
Gren.
that's all he can do.
All right. back to the top of the round, Cordelia. Oozes are starting to swarm. Hawk has been more or less consumed by one. And everybody looks to be ditching. What are we doing?
Ditching, like leaving, right?
Yeah, they're getting out of dodge.
Yeah, Hawk showed that he took the stone out of the teapot. So
Yeah. So you watched as he had taken that stone out of the teapot, and he booked it, but ended up getting got.
Oh. So much choices. I'll just attack. I guess I'll just attack the same ones I attacked a while ago.
All right. A 1 and a 2.
This one first, and then the other one. Because I did forget to do it, so it's my fault. But I forgot to roll a sneak attack damage on one of them.
Oops.
Yeah, say whoopsies.
Whoopsie doopsies. All right, roll me that. Roll me those attacks.
Don't forget the blesses, guys. Jeez.
Yeah, don't
Don't
forget you guys have
forget it.
blessings.
Don't forget it.
Lark-
Bless is duration, right? Not one
Yeah, it's duration.
time.
It's not like bardic inspiration. It is for a certain duration.
Okay.
So,
Well,
like Lark gave you guys all of his fucks, and now he has none to
Yeah.
give. So like you better use them.
without my pluses, my first attack was a dirty 20 plus
That hits, yes.
8, so 28.
28? 28 hits, yes.
Reaction, the thing that Gren can do, infuse strike.
As fine as his eyeballs swivel in your direction. Now, Cordelia, as you brandish your blade, and he gives another little like, and he just like coughs something up.
So a d6 worth of necrotic damage.
So much stronger now. Okay, and the other one is a 19.
19 will hit. Yep.
Is the necrotic only on the first attack?
It's only on one. It's a reaction that he can do.
Okay.
Alright, so your
This
first
one,
attack
right?
will have necrotic. Yes.
Okay. That's the one that can grant a sneak attack because that's the only creature without another enemy creature within 5 feet of it.
Yes. All right.
Oh, my 2 sneak attacks only rolled 1.
Oh.
1 and 1.
Shame.
Do you want the necrotic separate, or do you need?
No, that's fine. They can all go together.
So the first attack is a 20. That's better. That's sneak attack and all that stuff.
20 damage.
Yeah. Good.
Sure.
Okay, so next attack is just a normal attack.
All right.
Oh, that's an 8.
Just an 8. Oh. Well, I suppose. I see why
And-
all these people on my Steam are logging in to play Baldur's Gate, and I'm just so seething with rage.
I know. I want to
It's
play
fun.
too.
Like, wait a
What
minute,
room?
I don't have your Steam code. Thought we were friends.
Who, me?
Oh no, Lynn.
Oh. I will. I guess since the rest of the party is like trying to get out of there, I will just bonus action dodge.
All
Not
right.
dodge, but bonus action disengage. That's the name.
Dodge. Yeah, I got you.
And then I will move.
All right, you move.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 gets me right here, I guess. How high is this to this? Is that a flat surface or is that?
It's a flat surface.
Okay. And that 30 gets me there.
All
With
right.
the movement of, like, I'm jumping from here to here.
After having some sick parkour, she does a backflip and ends up on the other side of the pond.
And I will say parkour.
Perfect. Parkour.
And my turn.
All right, Larkspur, what are we doing? You watched as Hawk just got by a slime.
Schlooped.
You got schlooped.
He's going to cast his spiritual weapon.
All right.
Go ahead and do that.
What was the spiritual weapon again?
It's a flail.
Oh, that's right. It was the flog.
And then he's going to watch as Hawk is getting, I guess, absorbed by this thing, and he's going to go, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And he's going to take a step forward, put a hand on his back, and as a bonus action, cast Sanctuary.
All right, so there's your spiritual weapon.
Thank you.
Let me get you control of it. Boop. All right. There we are. All right, so you cast Sanctuary on Hawk. What's that doing?
You ward the creature with advantage against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or the spell. The spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects. If the warded creature makes an attack, casts a spell that affects an enemy, or deals damage to the creature, the spell ends.
Okay. So, Hawk, you are blessed, and you have been gifted Sanctuary. When's the wedding at this point?
He said, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
Looks like, oh god. He's probably gonna make some, like, to do about, like, you'll go to any lengths for my attention, won't you? Ugh. And Hawk's gonna be like, I was literally, whatever.
I was dying.
Literally being dissolved.
All right, so with that, I'll have to. I think with that, I might have to roll something for that. Okay. What's the spell DC?
For the wisdom save?
Yes.
15.
It rolled a 13. So you're gonna watch as this thing pretty much like peels off of Hawk now, since it is something that is actively attacking him. And almost like it was just like kind of like rebounded from the moment that Larkspur reached out to touch him. It just kind of like falls right off and reforms into what used to be Horus, husband to the herbalist. So Hawk is now free from being grappled and, suffocated. And now it is the slime's turn. That is gross. Why my dog just burped at me. So now they are all going to start. These guys are following after Cordelia. The bottom half's turn. These guys are all
I don't like that.
going over here.
No, that's fine.
These guys are going over here. I'm gonna have to roll a whole bunch of wisdom saves. So first wisdom save, that's a 2, so it's not gonna hit. So that's wonderful. So it's going to attack the others. Nope, that one is also a 2. So it's going to direct its attacks to you, Lark. Going to be nope, that is an 8. I doubt that hits you. And that's worse. So those attacks are not going to hit. However,
Yeah, it doesn't.
let's do Cordelia. So that's fun.
Following me.
24 to hit for the first attack.
24 hits.
All right, let's go for the next one. I'm going to. Does a 15 hit?
No.
All right, and that landed on the keyboard. That does not count. Okay. 23 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so first attack is going to be. That's going to be a number 8 points of bludgeoning damage. This is going to be for the second attack that hits. And that's going to be 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's a big one.
That's a big one, yeah. Alright, Tarsius.
Definitely blood.
Oh no.
Time for you.
Okay. Attack and attack the same two.
Alright, hold on. I'm attacking you first, then you get to attack me.
I thought you said Tarsius like it was my turn. My
No,
bad.
I'm saying that the ones that circled you are going to start attacking.
Let's do it.
Don't worry, you'll get your turn. You'll get your turn.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
19. Does that hit?
Yeah.
Alright, next attack. 11.
Misses.
Alright, next attack. That is 13.
Misses.
Believe. Yep, nope, that one misses too. Okay. So it looks like only one attack. So that is 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Bonk.
Bonk.
Alright. Now.
Owie.
Now it's your turn.
Okay. Sorry, I jumped the gun. Okay, let's do it. Attacking the same two. Let's Great Weapon Master, because God bless. Where's my D4? Okay. Oh, that's probably gonna fucking suck. Alright. This one is -5, so that's 15, 16. This one's 26, and then this one's the one that's gonna suck. With a 4, 5, 14.
14 just meets.
Oh, good. Okay. Ooh, maxed out. Okay. On that one, at least. So, 15, 25, 26, 20. Fuck, I messed up. 15, 17, 27 on this one.
27 damage.
Yes.
Bop.
Oh, yes. Okay, and on this one, it's going to be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 on this one. Yes. All right. And that's me. I'm all spent.
Alright. Alright, so as you swing through these two that have attacked, you cut them in half and you watch as they just kind of melt away back into the pool of ooze that you are currently sitting in. Anything else? As you're watching Hawkbale, you're watching Larkbale, you're watching Patience sort of bail, and your sister also bail.
Once I've noticed that, I'm like, oh, are we running? Oh, are you okay? And like now that I'm noticing that my sister's hurt, I'm like lower my axe down. Just confirmation if you want me to fight or run. Okay, and that's it.
Okay. Oh, Cordelia, if you would like to respond, you can.
No. I was like, I don't know what we are very outnumbered.
But I have an axe.
He has an axe. It's a great argument.
Well, I guess we're not running.
All right. Well, I'll say if you do decide to leave the pool, Tarsius, just know that it is considered difficult terrain.
Understood.
All right. So that's it for Tarsius. Hawk, what are we doing? As you have now been freed from being grappled from this ooze.
I am okay. So as he gets free, obviously, like he's gonna look up at Lark and be like, and then, let me read this. Only get one per. It's worth it. Worth a try. So he's gonna. Was it this one the one that grappled him?
This one over here.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's not. Okay, so he's going to. Since we're kind of trying to get the hell out of Dodge. Okay, he's gonna have to attack them, because it's attack or be attacked right now. So he's gonna get his. I can do that, can't I? Yes. Okay. Cool. So he's gonna make his attacks. Yeah, he'll take swings at this one.
Okay.
That's closest to him here. So that's a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. I'm assuming that a 26 hits.
26 does hit, yes.
And a 26, another 26 hits. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So now we have to do math. So they're gonna take 19 points of damage.
Alright, so that one goes down.
And then he's gonna like whirl, and this one, he's gonna use his bonus action to shield master a shove.
Okay.
To try to shove it away or back into the pool.
Alright, so is that a strength save?
It doesn't say. It says if you take an attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try to shove a creature within 5 feet of me with my shield.
I would take that as a... Don't remember how we rolled it before.
using
Shove
the
is
attack action.
an attack action, so it's like part of.
Yeah.
So like one of your 2 attacks since you're 5th level or higher.
Okay. Target must be no more than 1 size larger. Instead of making an attack roll, I make a strength athletics check contested by an athletics or acrobatics check.
Alright, so contesting roll, let's go. That. Alright. What do we get, Hawk?
22.
12.
There's a 2 in there.
Right?
You strike one down, practically cleaving, like clean through shoulder to hip, as you watch another familiar face just kind of like melt back into goo, and then you whirl around, trying not to focus too hard on like the faces that you see, and you're faced with Dark, and you give him a shove, and you watch as he falls back into the pool, like his back hitting into the solid surface, and you watch as he just kind of like stares up at you as he melts away back into the ooze.
I would say at this point, yeah, once Hawk does that, he's gonna kind of like If that ooze made that eye contact and just that, we feel bad about that. And he's gonna kind of stumble, like, at first maybe like take a step into, but then around Lark.
Okay.
And like trying to get away from 5, 10, 15. He's not even gonna use all of his movement. He's just kind of like stumbling away.
Okay.
And that's all he could do.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Patients, you are 10 feet in the air, so they cannot reach you. So they kind of just like stare up at you. They'll kind of like look around for a minute, and they all start. Their attention is like immediately trained onto where Hawk ran, and they start to kind of like all shamble in that direction.
Right.
So 30, it's this one right here.
Shit.
So this one's moving forward. This one over here. As Lark, you are in the way, so they're going to start clambering for you. One's also going to be coming in over here, as it's going to squick its way past. Since solid masses do not impede their movement. This one is also gonna be in your area. Okay. So, let's roll some damage. As I'll start with the one attacking Gren first. Does a 10 hit Gren?
Let me double check that. I don't believe so. No, it does not.
Okay. All right. So that one's gonna miss.
His AC is 18.
Good for him. I'm so proud of him. The
It's
next
14
attack
plus.
is towards Tarsius. So that's gonna be an 8. That will miss probably. All right. So the rest are 1, 2, 4, 5. 5 for Lark. Good for Lark.
No.
First one is a natural 20.
I would like to burn a reaction.
Sure.
Hawk's shield is the rune on Hawk's shield is gonna start to glow, and his cloud rune is gonna get
All right.
activated.
Nice.
Sure.
So, creature within 30 feet is hit by an attack row. I can use my reaction to choose a different creature other than the attacker to become the target of that attack. Which one was attacking him?
This one right here.
It
This
didn't
fellow.
show.
This fellow.
Ah,
This guy. This one moving back
This
and
guy?
forth.
okay. Okay, so instead of Lark, I'll have it attack the one that's standing right here.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds good. Let me. All right. So let me roll that damage first. Okay, so it's going to do a lot of damage on that friend. As you watch as it kind of like raises its like fists up to wail down on Lark. And you activate your cloud rune, and you watch as like this this giant rune just kind of like flashes for a brief moment between you, Lark, and the ooze, and you watch as its fists kind of retract away from you, and it just immediately hits into the next creature. So the next one is going to get angry, and it's going to have just this whole chain reaction. Does a 21 hit Lark?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so let me do next one. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming 22 hits.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna assume the 9 does not hit.
No.
Okay. All right, so that is 3 attacks on you. So first one
Okay.
is going to be 6 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Next one is 11 points of bludgeoning,
All right.
and the last one, 8 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. And he's going to respond. He's going to use a reaction and do Hellish Rebuke,
All right.
and he'll
Which one
just
are we
do
hellish
it.
rebuking?
He's going to do it to the one that's directly in front of him.
Got it.
So-
All right. So that's a dex save.
Yeah.
What is your DC?
15.
It rolled a 12.
A12. Okay. So he's getting 3d10 of fire damage.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Total 14.
14. Okay. Don't think. Okay. Excellent. As this one kind of like starts to wail on you, and you point your finger out at it, and you watch as it just kind of like erupts into flames, and you hear it make these awful like groaning noises.
Mhm.
All right. So with that, Patience, it's your turn.
Cool. 5, 10, 15. And this one right here, she's going to throw an Eldritch Blast at.
Eldritch Blast. Yes.
Natural 20.
I'm so glad that me saying it like that didn't curse it.
That's what I was worried about.
That's
too.
usually what happens.
I was like, damn you just said
Like,
that.
I'm
now
going to
you're
do
gonna
an
curse
Eldritch
it.
Blast. Oh no, it's a 1.
It's like, oh no, it fucking misses.
Natural 20. Okay, so the lineage
you know
of cold
what?
rolling real fucking well lives on.
I've been bad.
Yes.
Oh, you haven't been rolling for your potted plants.
Potted
Mm.
plant. Potted
You
plant.
owe me a roll.
I owe you like 2,
Okay.
3 technically.
Give me 3 rolls.
13, 8, and a 6.
Damn. I would have loved to see
Oh wait,
one.
and then for the Eldritch Blast, a 10.
10.
Hmm.
Cool.
That was
Bop.
math. 13 points of force damage.
Yeah.
So
Did you just do the 1?
yeah, it was Eldritch. It was
Do you
Doesn't
get
hit.
1 attack or 2? Because sometimes you get more, depending on the level.
wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on.
You get 3 blasts.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I did not know that.
So your first blast took that one out.
Okay. So that's a 16 plus 9
That hits.
on this one.
All right.
That one max. Well, no.
Okay.
Yes, it did. Sorry. Because I was like, wait a minute, because I keep forgetting the 0. Anyways, yes, so 10 on this one, of force.
And 10 damage of force on that one.
Yes.
All right. Bop.
And,
Down goes
the-
Irma the herbalist.
Huh?
Down goes Irma the herbalist.
And then she's gonna look back over to, like, Gren and just kind of like, okay, buddy, you got this. Just come over this way. And Gren's gonna try to bite the one in front of him again, and then he'll take the A off to get attacked. But first he's gonna bite it.
Roll me that bite.
Let me see. Buddy, what did you
It'd be
get?
crazy. Be crazy if he rolled another natural 20.
No, he didn't. He didn't roll that great, but I have to know what the... So that's an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okie doke. What'd you get, Bubba? Gren. So that's a 5.
Oh. I mean, that's easy math for me. Okay. Take the bite, and then you're gonna do an AOP
Yeah.
as he runs to you.
5, 10.
That is an 18 to hit.
That meets. I have his HP figured out.
That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow. Okay.
As it goes to as he goes to scamper over to you, the ooze is like trying to like grab for him and gets frustrated and gives him a kick.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just pissed patience off.
Yeah, you hear him give a very not, okay whine when that happens.
No, it's on sight on this one.
Gives one of those little yipe noises that just makes you want to punch someone in the face.
Yeah, who's this guy right here? Even she'll burn a reaction and be like, "Hey, yeah, hey Hawk, who's this person right here?"
Who is that person?
We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin's a dick.
Kevin. Fucking
You
Kevin.
never liked Kevin.
Fucking Kevin.
Yeah, but I'm also the reason Kevin's here.
Kevin was kind of like the. He was kind of like the town downer.
Gross.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Hawk will probably not respond to you. He's standing there looking very devastated right now.
You look over to Hawk and you see as he's got this 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, it's like, ow.
Like he hurts.
Totally
Like
fucking hate
he is.
Kevin.
He is looking pretty rough. But he
Sorry,
both.
man.
He looks. He doesn't just look physically taxed. He's looking emotionally taxed right now.
Poor guy.
Sent Vic a message, and I know you're the only one who will get
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Fuck that guy.
What?
It's
Okay.
you gotta listen to a specific podcast.
Oh, that's fair.
So. Anyway,
That's
yeah,
all
Kevin,
I can do.
we
Yeah.
fucking hate Kevin. Kevin, it's on site with Kevin. Fuck that guy. For the record,
It was
everybody
also
heard
spelled
that.
like. It was spelled like Kevin. Like his mom was also terrible and named him Kevin, and it's spelled like Keven.
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes, it's Kevin. And you're like, fuck this guy. Apologies to all the guys actually named Kevin out there. I'm so sorry.
Any guys who
Bye.
spelled
I'm sure.
Kevin.
I'm sure you were probably
you're-
really delightful, but fuck this guy in
If your
particular.
name is Kevin Keven, I am so sorry. It's not you.
Yeah, right. It's like I feel bad because I have a friend named Kevin, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Kevin. You're actually very pleasant. I love you very much, but
But
fuck
is
this
he-
dude right here.
Is he spelled Kevin Kevin?
Yes.
Oh, we're not talking about him.
All right, then he's wonderful. He's delightful. We don't talk. Well, we're talking about Kevans.
Kevin.
Kevin. Keven. Kevin.
Kevin,
Kevin.
not Kevin. Kevin.
Yes.
Difference. Notice the difference in okay. Anyway,
It's not Kevin. It's Kevin.
Kevin. He has an accent on it.
Kevin.
It's Elvish. So, Cordelia, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna attack this guy,
All right.
and then I'm gonna do a sweeping attack
All right.
as my superior maneuver or whatever to attack this guy.
All right.
So basically, if I hit this guy, I hit this guy for a lower damage at least.
Go for it. Go for it. I'm gonna tell you something really fun if you hit him.
$27.
Okay.
Does that hit?
It does. You know what's great about it? Because I guarantee you probably can do more than 2 points of damage at base. He's
Okay.
dead.
Yeah, my base
you go,
damage.
You basically just like cleave straight through him, and you continue on to the next. As it
Yeah,
just
so
kinda,
the
like, falls in
damage,
half.
the damage on this guy is gonna be 4 just 4 damage.
Okay.
4 person.
All right. All right. What is your damage, sir? Oh, okay. All right. We are still
then-
trucking.
Second attack will be for this guy.
All right.
And I'm
well,
using menacing attack on that guy.
You do that. You do that.
Yep, he says no action, so I can just do it. That is, I think I'm gonna hit because that's a base 19.
Okay.
27 to this guy
Just right
with
outside of it.
menacing
Go for it.
another d8, and because now we're kind of 1v1 on this part, that's a sneak attack.
Crazy how that works.
There's a lot of dice.
She's making it rain over there. Moose. I saw a moose.
You saw a moose?
17
Oh,
points of
moose.
damage on this guy.
Aw,
Where are you? Can you come here?
there's a little moose. Oh, look at him.
Take you, baby.
This a
The hairless
puppy.
butt.
And Nick.
And Nick. Hi, Nick.
Vic says hi.
Mark.
He says hi.
Hi. Oh, he's not even looking.
He's
He's busy with the
hanging something
background.
up.
So 17
Oh.
points. This guy.
All right. Yep. 17 points. He's still standing.
Okay, then I will use my
Call him Elton.
like I am hurt, so I am using my action surge.
Wow.
You're welcome.
L2.
I hate it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm still
Still
standing.
standing.
Ooh,
Oh, look at
damn.
him. He's decorating back
Look
there.
at that. Awesome.
Beautiful.
I don't know
Alright.
if we can see this on Twitch.
Sure,
Kind of.
What?
everybody's post Pride Month reminder that just because you're a straight passing couple doesn't mean you're not both fucking gay.
This is that is the gayest house I've ever seen.
It's only gonna get gayer.
Okay, action surge. I'm gonna attack this guy first,
All right, go for that action surge.
and that is a 19.
That'll hit.
And second attack to the other guy.
All right.
That is 21.
That hits.
No sneak attacks on this one, though. Oh, both of them rolled 7s, so plus 4. 11 on both of them. 11 and 11.
Boop. And boop, because they both had the same HP.
Oh, that's funny. I rolled the same numbers on my.
So she whirls back around and goes for like a clean methodic like 1-2, and then they just
It's
both
like-
just like fall to goop,
basically like now I'm not surrounded.
and you have the high ground.
It's over.
All right, anything else?
Bonus action. I'm just healing myself. Bonus action, second win.
All right.
And
As you
the
do
end of
your
my-
breathing technique,
yes.
serpent's
after,
breath.
After I attack.
Is this like the serpent's breath?
Yeah, serpent's breath.
Perfect.
Healing. And then I guess I'll just move this way. 20, 25. Be
Alright.
over there. Not too close, but still within attacking range, kind of.
Okay.
To
Alright.
with my brother. I rolled a 1. My,
Oof.
so I heal for 9.
Your snakes tried. They tried their best. So they have tiny lungs.
That's true.
All right. That is the loudest fucking Katie that I've ever heard in my life.
It's funny that did get out of that barely got me out of bloody though.
It counts.
It still counts.
All right, Larkspur. That is the loudest bug I've ever heard in my life. It is your turn, Lark.
He's going to attack this one with his weapon.
Okay.
Do
Your spiritual weapon.
yes. Let me roll. Hold on.
So everybody watches as this ethereal, kind of like almost like red and silvery flog just kind of like comes flinging around to crack down on this goo.
On the goo.
On the goo. It's not even
22.
good goo. 22 will definitely hit.
Excellent.
So you'll hear the crispest like snap of this flog.
And
Hawk,
the
you're traumatized
damage.
right now.
5 damage.
5 whole damage. Okay, it's still there.
Yeah.
Damage.
I mean that's all he can do without
Okay.
Damage is down.
disengaging, which he doesn't want to do.
He is surrounded. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
A bonus. Okay.
None that he can do.
For the last ones, I'm going to go ahead and just dwindle them down to that. Let's go ahead and roll their damage or their attacks. All right, 2 for Tarsius. Well, actually, ooh. Oh no, this is what Kevin will do. Going over here, chasing after the one. So Kevin is gonna roll. Does a 14 hit Gren? Patience. Does a 14 hit Gren?
You can't.
No, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Oh, no, it does not.
Okay. All right. So Tarsius is next. So that is going to be probably not. That is a 9 to hit,
No.
and that is a 12 to hit.
No.
All right. So those guys are kind of starting to slow down a bit as like their numbers are dwindling. The one that was going to attack you, that you just attacked, Lark, rolled a natural 1, so that's a no. The other two, however, there's going to be an 18 to hit Lark.
That's a hit.
That's a hit, okay. And then the second one, 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. So let's roll our damage. One is a 9 points of bludgeoning, and the other is a max. So that's 13 points of bludgeoning.
So 9 and 13.
Yes. So you are getting fucking walloped.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Big oof. All right. Show. Tarsius, what do?
Okay. I'm gonna go hit, and then I'm gonna go hit. So
Hit and hit. Got it.
All right. Great Weapon Master. Each one. Okay.
The
Give
best strategy.
me best strat. Give me
Bonk
D4s.
and bonk.
Okay. Okay. This diagonal one. So, for the that might miss. That's a 13.
13 to hit. It does not hit.
Okay. This one is minus 5. So,
Oh no.
8, 9. 18 on this one.
18. Yes, 18 hits. Sorry, I was just messaged by my friend Kevin.
Are they watching right now?
I don't think he is, no, because he
Okay.
sent me something completely unrelated. I'm like, this is funny that you just messaged me.
Well, I rolled a 12, so 12 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 on this one.
Oh, okay. Zoop. Down he goes.
Yay!
You just cleave right through him. He turns to liquid. I'm gonna totally post the thing that I was just sent by Kevin.
Gonna go.
It's not related to anything, but it's just
10, 20, 30. Diagonal 40. Hey, sis.
Okay.
And that's it.
all right. As he just like schlops his way out of the pool, climbs up next to you. All right. Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, Hawk. You're watching your man, but not your man, get wailed on. You're also muted.
Yeah, he's gonna sit there and like kind of like take a second, like just get it together, and he'll take a step up to this one. He gets multiple attacks, so he's gonna take. Yeah, he's gonna make his 3 attacks towards this dude.
Dude.
This dude.
How's it going, dude?
Which is a 14.
14 just hits.
Okay, 14. So then a 21 hits. And an 18, or not 18, 20 hits.
Yes, all that
Oh.
hits.
Sweet. Alright.
You can give me the grand total to all of that.
I'm gonna add it all together.
Jim.
15 plus 12. I can't do that math in my brain. Hold on. Plus 12. 28 points of damage.
All right. Bop. There he goes. He's going
Question
down.
On
And-
technicality.
Yes.
So it says I can use my bonus action to try to shove a creature within 5 feet of me. Am I allowed to continue to take my movement that I didn't finish to shove? Or does the shove need to immediately come after the attack on the same being?
Allow it.
Okay, because it doesn't say.
So
it doesn't-
I'll say it as you're taking your momentum to kind of like cut through.
Okay, and he'll step
That's...
and just shove. So
All
that's
right.
either
Roll
testing.
me. What'd you get?
That was a natural 1 for a 9.
No.
Well, here's something funny. They rolled a 6. So
Oh my god.
let's
That's
just
hilarious.
say. All right. So you cut this dude down, right? And he went down. His name was Timber. And you go and you. So he was the lumberjack.
Oh,
Victor.
God.
As you
God.
run through what was left of him, your foot kind of like your boot kind of like gets stuck and kind of squelches, and you kind of like almost fall into you basically fall into Horus and kind of shove him back. So he just kind of like stumbles backwards. So
on.
it worked. It wasn't graceful, but it worked.
All right, and that's big boy's turn.
You kind of made yourself look a fool in front of your crush, but that's okay.
Look, that's only gonna get worse. So,
All right, anything else, Hawk?
bold of you to assume that Lark does not already think Hawk is a fool.
He does.
Oh, good. See, then it's fine.
We've been here
established that.
watching. Yes. All right.
Um,
Anything else?
That's his turn. Nah.
Okay.
Good.
Patience. It's your turn.
Yes. Okie dokie. Sure, why not? We're gonna do this again. We gonna do that scorching ray again.
All right, roll me those rays.
Yeah. Here we go.
How many modes you get?
3.
Oh, okay. And you've got 4 to choose from.
Okay, so the first one's a 19 to hit. She's gonna aim at the one that Hawk just pushed.
All right, Horus.
Horus, yeah. 9
Okay.
damage. Hold on. 21 to hit. For that one, she's gonna aim at this one.
All right.
That is 7 to hit. 7 points of fire damage.
7 points of fire damage. Okie dokie.
And then the last one. I have the bless. 21.
What was the last one going to?
Last one's gonna go towards Horus again.
Okay.
And that
dignifying
is...
Kevin with a response.
You know what? Yeah, no, we'll actually aim for Kevin because he kicked my dog. So that's
Surprised
8.
you didn't put all of them on Kevin. 8 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
All right. There he goes.
Cool.
Anything else?
For patience, she'll fly over here.
Yeah, okay.
And then Gren is 5, 10, 15. Gren's gonna bite this one.
All right, go for bite.
Come on, baby.
Miss Lark, you now have a flying child in your vicinity.
Hold on. Because I still have to always pull up his thing.
I am.
And I am gonna roll,
Get it done early.
Oh.
Out.
that's a 19. Wait, 19. 23 to hit.
That'll hit. That'll do it.
That'll do.
He
That'll do.
maxed.
That'll do. Drake, that'll do. Good for him. What do you
So
get?
10. 10 points.
It's not bad. As he tears a
Um,
hole through Horus's ankle, basically.
Yep. And then last thing I need to do. Motherfuck.
Pot of plant?
Mm,
Fuck.
what's the
I'm getting it.
Uh-huh.
Potted plant.
Let's get there. Let's get there.
63.
63. Okay, let me see what that gets you.
I don't know if this is what I rolled before. I don't have these memorized or
All right.
anything.
So, here's what's gonna
Oh.
happen.
Fuck.
Pot of plant?
Let me double check something real quick, because I got what it does. It's gonna make things more fun.
No.
Okay. So,
Not me also looking up to see which one this is.
Up. So you cast a fog cloud centered on yourself.
Shit.
As you start to fly over to where you're heading, this thick fog just starts to emanate from you and start to encompass the area. As Lark and Hawk, you guys start to kind of lose sight of everything in front of you. You didn't hear
Lovely.
her, but she yelled, "Sorry!"
Oh.
Alright, so the area is now heavily obscured.
Great.
For
Great.
this duration, I'm going to... Alright, I don't know if anyone can see that.
Yeah. At least I
Alright,
can.
perfect.
To be good.
Yep. Alright, anything else, patience?
No, that's it.
Alright, Cordelia, you're up.
Where is it? There it is. Sure, I'm just gonna go over here. Use my attack action. Nope, but over here.
Alright, so you're jumping into the goo.
Yeah,
Alright.
sure, why not? I'm gonna go use my attack to attack that guy.
Alright, attack that guy.
That is an 18.
That'll definitely hit.
$16 points of damage.
That'll do it.
I was waiting. If it was still alive, then I guess
So attack number 2, yeah.
I guess I'll just get out of the goo.
Alright, difficult terrain, so it'll take you...
Okay, hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I just
All
moved that way.
You
That
just kind
much.
of like start to wade slowly through.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll end my turn, but I guess you'll just notice that I'm sheathing my sword and starting to pull out my longbow.
Okay.
Or short bow, I mean.
Alright.
And that'll
Okay.
end my turn.
Alright, Lark. So you are in an area that is heavily obscured with fog now. That's the last thing you saw was patience fly down,
Excellent.
and then next thing you know, fog is everywhere.
Sorry.
He just goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And then he's just gonna
Merde.
disengage and back up.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright. Okay, so you just back up. Anything else?
Yep. He can't see anything,
Yeah, no.
so no.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool.
Alright, these also can't see anything. So we are going to take a blind swing in any direction. Nope. And nope, these guys can't see shit, so they're just blindly swinging in the wrong direction. Okay, Tarsius.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at my sister and be like, alright, I'm gonna go help them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 gets me there. If you can hear my voice, come this way.
Follow the sound of my voice.
As you all hear Tarsius.
And I'm going to just tap with my hoof to like have like a sensory aid, and then every now and then just be like, "Yep, still be here. Yep, right here."
As you all hear Tarsius for sure.
And I guess that's my action. I'm going to take the defense. So if anyone attacks me, disadvantage. That's it.
All right. The hawk. You were pretty much blinded by fog, but you hear Tarsius yelling for you.
I don't know where Tarsius is.
Roll me a perception.
Cool. Like we've been bogged down in our own shit for a hot second here. Perception. Oh, I have advantage. And I need it. Rip. Okay, hold on. That's a plus. Great, cool. Bet. And that was not a good use of the blessing die. So that's a 10.
I will say 10's good enough.
Okay.
He's close enough that it's like, he's not yelling over a great distance. And roll me. Okay, so with that 10, roll me a history.
Eight.
Okay. You think you remember how this place looks.
Cool.
But you definitely know that say that you hear Tarsius kind of to your leftish.
Okay.
Like that much you do know.
Bet. Okay. So
And you are very aware that Lark just backed up away.
become back.
He was right next to you and then he wasn't.
Ugh. Yeah, if he can't see anything, he's probably going to do similar. He's going to probably try to back out of wherever he is.
Okay.
But since we don't know which direction, I'm going to roll and pick a random one.
Oh, awesome. I love that.
Because we don't know which way is the least dense. So it was 1, 2, 3. Great, cool. All right. Because he could only go one of 3 ways because he knows which way is forward. And he doesn't want to go that way for sure. So he took 5, 10, 15, 20. Wait, 25 or 30? 30. We're a person.
You are officially out of the
not
fog.
a gnome. We're a person, not a gnome.
You're a whole
All right.
person.
A human, not a gnome, rather.
You have
Gnomes are
long
people too.
legs.
So, yeah, we're out of here.
You aren't as vertically challenged.
Nowhere near it. Yeah, that's about all he can do. Because he can't see anything to hit it, so...
Alright. So you back out. You are finally out of the fog. And you see where the fog ends. And
he'd probably call in for Larkspur, like, where the hell did you, where are you? And then for patience as well, like, hello?
I will say you also, do you still have, where did you put the stone? I will say.
He's been holding it in his shield hand.
Okay, so you...
It's between his palm and the handle on his shield.
Alright, so you're holding it, and you kind of feel almost like a gravitational pull with it as it starts to kind of like almost magnetically like pull your arm in a direction.
Which direction?
I will say this direction.
All right. Okay. Our cardinal direction's a thing here, so is the top of the map north?
Yes, we'll go with top of the map is north. Since it's a labyrinth and it makes no fucking sense right now.
That's fair. Cool. Then I guess, yeah, the last bit of his little yelling for people is that, yeah, he'll notice that and be like, just like as loudly as he can, like, southeast.
Right, then everybody gets that information yelled to them.
homeboy is looking a little panicky right now.
All right. Patience, what are we doing? As you are literally surrounded by fog, you hear Hawk yell southeast. You also hear Tarsius yelling as well. Bless you.
I realized I was muted. She's like, okay, let's try to dispel this. I don't have dispel magic anymore. Shit.
Oops.
Roll me an Arcana.
Okay.
Can you gust things?
$23.
So,
Okay.
you would remember from, I'll say, in the times that your dad has tried to school you on magic, and, attention spans are only so big for very small children.
Well,
But
any
within
of
the-
Cole's... I was going
Yeah.
to say any of Cole's lectures are not that
They're not
entertaining.
child friendly. Like, he doesn't know how to make it colorful and engaging. So you remember the first 5 seconds of it. You remember that being spells dedicated around obscuring vision through like fogs and mists and what have you. Could very easily be dispelled, not only through a dispel magic, but also through wind-based spells.
Spells.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
I know. Her just thinking, okay, wind-based spell. I don't have a wind-based spell. Okay, she's just gonna cast Misty Step because she heard Hawk say south,
Southeast, yes.
southeast. Would she be able to kind of like, she's gonna have to just pick a random direction.
Yep, you are.
Okay, cool. So I did roll the d4. So she's gonna pick this away.
All right.
So she's gonna Misty Step 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets her here.
All right. And as the fog cloud moves away from you, Hawk, and Lark, you are now able to see. Tarsius, you watch. Tarsius and Cordelia, you watch as this fog cloud is just advancing on you.
Yeah.
Is the fog cloud moving with? with
Yeah, it's centered on
Patience?
patience, but
Uh.
I'm gonna need patience to roll me that d20 for her spell.
Got it.
Cool.
Got it.
If you're lucky, you roll another one.
God!
And this activates.
Damn it.
Did you roll a 1?
Yes.
Is it about a blade?
That means that the
Got it.
spell ended.
Cool.
So
Great.
what's happening now,
Oh
patience?
God, I don't. Give me a second.
Potted plant.
I don't.
It's
I'm
been a while.
scared.
What'd you roll?
Potted
What'd you
plant.
roll?
42.
42. That
to the life.
is.
Is it? Is it? I was like, isn't it?
Potted
Okay.
plant.
All right, hear me out. So, patience, you misty step, and you teleport yourself from one area to the other, and you feel the spell of the fog cloud end. But as the fog clears, all everyone sees is a single potted rosemary plant
Yeah.
sitting
God
in the
damn it.
middle
Wait a
of the
minute!
pagoda.
Potted plant.
I was in the air though.
You were.
Uh-oh. It's a very sturdy pot.
You see a. Well, okay. Were you misty stepping to like in the direction in the air, or were you misty stepping toward the ground? That is a specific
I
question.
guess towards the ground, yeah.
Okay. You just hear the little dunk of terracotta as this rosemary plant just kind of like lands.
God damn it! God damn it!
The child is gone, but there is a potted plant in the middle of the pagoda now.
Fuck.
That's a nice decoration.
Oh, Gren's gonna probably panic because he doesn't see me, so he's gonna immediately probably again just bite the guy that's in front of him. 16 plus a number.
That hits.
Cool. Wait. $12.
Boop. There he goes. As he freaks and he bites him into liquid. And now this dog dragon is doing little panic zoomies all over the place.
Probably going by set and just immediately ends up in front of the rosemary pot.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right, Cordelia.
God damn it.
There's a potted plant in the middle of the pagoda. Most of the enemies are dead, save for one. And yeah.
I guess I'll just arc my bow towards that guy.
Okay. As you go, you take aim.
18 plus a number, so.
Yep, that hits.
And the next one is a 16.
That also hits. She's doing the Robin Hood 2 arrow shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if you make those and then like the second one is a natural 20, it just pierces through the first one.
I'm pretty sure Arian's done that.
That's a
Arian's over there just
17.
like, oh, you do 2 shots? I can do 3. Ha. I'm what you
Arian
call a
is the master
threat.
of trick shots.
Really, he is.
He's the master of trick shots.
He
Yep.
knows how to curve an arrow.
Oh yeah.
Alright, what do we get, Cordelia?
17 points of damage.
Boop. There it goes.
Yep. As soon as that hits and I see the ooze fall down, I'm like, I'm gonna walk out of the goo,
They all melt away.
and I'm just, where's the child?
Fuck you, Kevin.
Oh.
She's done this before.
She has. So you all know that she has turned into a plant before. You know this is something that happens sometimes.
Yeah. But that's my first reaction is, where's the kid?
Okay.
And I look around.
We are out of combat, technically.
So I guess Gren is just sitting next to the potted plant.
Yes.
Like, it's that her again? Just gonna point.
Yeah. You would figure out that, yeah, it's a rosemary plant. You know her other name is Rosemary. You've seen the same potted plant sitting on a bar top in the burned boar. So, now that has ended. Hawk, you feel the pull of the stone towards the direction that you've indicated for everybody. What are we all doing?
I guess I'm jumping back into the thing.
Right, you can roll a acrobatics if you want to try to clear the distance of the jump without having to jump down into it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Do a parkour. It's only 10 feet.
Parkour. You said acrobatics?
Yes.
Okay, well, acrobatics, that is a 24.
Yep, you'll clear it easy.
And I'll just grab the potted plant and then start walking towards the party, I guess, like
Okay.
this area.
This Gren is going to be following you, like, practically underfoot as you go.
That's what Henry does all the time. Always
Yep.
trying to trip us.
Especially
Like
when
those
you're,
are
like, holding...
Stairs, like the cats when they try to go between your legs and you're on the stairs.
Yep.
Henry only does it when he knows we're dressed to leave the house. Like we're dressed up to just leave,
He's
or,
like, oh, where are we going? Where are we
leave
going?
to work. Yeah. was like, well, patience is once again a plant. How long does this last?
It's like a minute.
Yeah, about a minute, a few minutes or so.
Is it 1 minute or 10 minutes?
I think it's 10 minutes.
I believe. Let me double check.
We should make like a potted plant saddle on Gren.
It just says if you drop to 0 hit points, your pot breaks and your form reverts. That's it.
Yeah, I'd say for out of combat purposes, it's 10 minutes.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm a pot plant.
I can whittle a little satchel and put it on Grin, so
Oh,
I can carry.
Make him a little like little
Parts.
hat that has like a slot for a potted hat, so he has to balance it on his head.
That would be so cute.
I love it.
All right, so what are we doing?
I'm looking at Hawk's hand.
Did Hawk mention about the rock that's pulling him
Well,
towards
yeah. Well, he
somewhere?
said he yelled for everyone to head southeast.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's true.
So he'll just kind of hold out the rock in his hand and be like, it like
Hey, Bubba.
the 1,000-yard dead behind the eye stare over in the direction, be like that way.
Oh,
But what's the rock cooking?
What?
Sorry.
Apparently Sydney can't smell it.
Oh no.
Okay.
I have someone who has joined the party.
Ah,
Oh,
look at
look
him.
at him. That's a loaf of bread.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
We have a lot
we
to
have
say.
thoughts.
Yeah, that's I need to go potty soon.
uh-oh. All right,
Uh,
so everybody, is the plan to head southeast in the direction that the rock is pulling, Hawk?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do that.
You're just trusting this strange rock.
Absolutely. And I'll say give us a bit more time as we're almost at our time. Just about.
Mhm.
As you guys end up back at the sundial. As you walk southeast down the path of the labyrinth, as the hedges kind of like twist and turn, and you find your way back to the sundial.
oh, okay.
Changed at all?
So here we go again.
Nothing has changed about it. It's the same as it's always been, except for there seems to be no shadow on the sundial at all.
Great.
And the sun still remains where it was.
The sun
Right.
has stayed in the same. You guys have been at this for like hours at this point,
Yeah.
and the sun has remained in the same position as when you first entered this labyrinth.
I guess time
But
doesn't
now there
move
is
in
no.
here.
There's no shadow on this sundial.
So now what?
But you've discerned in the time that you guys have spent sitting around in this area that this seems to be a neutral zone, like almost a safe place. So, if you so wish,
We better touch that sundial to save our progress.
yeah.
or else we'll lose it.
Hawk is going to kind of walk ahead of everybody because, yeah, at this point we know that there's nothing here. He's gonna walk around to this corner here
Okay.
and throw up.
As you all hear the Hawk just yak.
Are you okay?
Space.
Ooh. Are we feeling like we want to lie to people today?
Uh-oh.
No, we're not. Okay. He's gonna he's gonna shake his head. And he's gonna sit there and he's gonna very, very quietly like whisper soft, be like, I knew them. I knew all of them.
Hmm.
He's
The oozes? They were people?
he's gonna be like, he's gonna start listing off their occupations, like the calligrapher, the lumberjack, the herbalist, like he's gonna and like start, and as he starts naming off who those people were, he's going to start to cry.
Cordelia's just gonna kind of collapse where she is to just like weak, like kind of like the weak niece kind of deal. So she'll just kind of sit down where she is, just fall down where she is, with in a look of shock, because yeah.
Say by this point, the 10 minutes are up. In patience, you are now not a plant.
Bleh. I hate when I do that.
You've got this like very like strong taste of rosemary in your mouth now.
Ew.
There are worse ones. Look,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
that rosiny, herbly.
Does Tarsius is staring at the sundial. Well, Mr. Hawk, you didn't do that. That was definitely Tiamat.
He's gonna
That-
sit there and like shake his head and be like, no. I guess
Well,
no. He's just gonna kind of sit there and like, these are hedges, right? They're kind of like
they're
you
very
could lean
tall.
on them.
Yeah, they are hedges. They're solid and they go very high up, like 30 feet up.
He's just gonna lean back on one and like shaking his head at CS and be like, no, I opened my mouth. I did that. I said those things. I made them a target. Like sliding down to like sit in as close to a fetal position as one can in armor.
Blank, blank.
And continued to cry.
Where's Hawk at? Right here?
He's just
Well,
around.
he walked around the corner so he could throw up.
Okay.
There you go.
Lark will go over and meet him. And as he's walking over, he's a priest, so he's going to have his block of incense out and he's going to light it and then just kind of walk over to Hawk. Not say anything.
Okay, as Lark walks around into your field of view, Hawk, he takes out the incense and lights it, and you get that kind of heavy, smoky scent of sage and resin just kind of like burning into your nose.
Okay. He's gonna like he'll look like he'll acknowledge the fact that Lark is there. But he is going to continue to repeat what he said to Tarsius. So like, I did this, I said those things, I put that target on them. I like this is on me.
Lark will put his incense down and just kind of wipe off his hands on his vestments, and then he'll go over to Hawk and slap him across the face.
You're 2 for 2, Grayson Taderick and Larkspur.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very slappable face.
Slappable face, yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna. Let's see
He'll
how slow Brandon is.
he'll talk to him. He'll just be like, "You need to get that hold of yourself."
He'll have the audacity. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how this would be played. Okay, so he's gonna he'll sit there and look at he's not going to stop crying. But he is going to kind of sit there and give you a look of it is the closest to a how dare you look Hawk has ever given anybody. And he's going to sit there and just he's going to continue to cry. He's going to continue to be upset, and he is a little offended that he was hit. But eventually he'll kind of choke out and be like, I just I need the time, and it's gonna be I need time, it's going to be borderline begging to take time.
Time for what? You want to wallow in your pity some more?
Oof. Oof. Damn. And he's like, no, I need time to process. I need time to make my peace with the fact that I need a few goddamn minutes to mourn.
Just kind of sighs and he nods and he's all right. You can mourn all of this, but don't you dare ever say this was your fault.
Hawk is just gonna half-hearted, the emptiest chuckle. And he's just gonna have he's gonna sit there and just kind of check out. And sit there and be like, I need a little time. And basically he's going this is also Hawk asking to rest. Just I need a little while. And he's gonna say that, and he'll say that looking hard like Lark. What the fuck is your name? Lark, dead in the face. I just need a little time. And then he'll look over it because if Cordelia and Lark are the only two that are near him, he'll look at Cordelia too. I just need a little time. I need a little while.
Circle nod. All right. And then he'll sit down next to him.
Ooh. Progress.
The man's mourning.
What do you mean? He was mourning one of the last times.
Yeah, we all process differently, I
well.
guess.
I guess Cordelia's gonna move this way.
Yep.
So-
Go over here. Boop. Alright.
Cordelia's just gonna sit there and rest
Alright, so you're all
and
taking
meditate.
a short rest. What is everybody doing? Tarsius, what would you be doing on this short rest?
Every now and then sitting down because catch a breath, but mostly circling the sundial and seeing if anything changed or if I can get any clue or just
I'll say
that's it.
Roll me a wisdom save as you're kind of pacing around the perimeter of this.
That is a dirty 20.
13-20. Okay, so you're kind of like, pacing around like the outside of the sundial, just kind of like seeing, keep an eye on things. Like, instinctually you just feel restless being in the center of this. And just like your eyes keep looking for the way out. You know that it's not there. You know it's not in sight, but you feel it. You feel that it's somewhere, and you feel like you need to search for it. You need to hunt for it. It's just that itch under your skin that you feel like you need to keep moving forward. But you kind of like, keeping it all in, locking it in a little box. You're just like, remembering Uncle West's meditations. You're gonna take a deep breath in, and we're gonna let it out. And
Usa.
remember your pressure points. But you kind of like feel that itch of feeling too big for your skin almost. Like it's all kind of closing in on you. Okay, Cordelia, what are we doing?
I'm just meditating and thinking about what happened in the past few hours, I guess, since we got into the labyrinth. The oozes and what they were apparently, and the curse that was removed from her when she was a baby is apparently coming back now. And yeah, it's just that she's just gonna close her eyes and just meditate.
Okay. As you're sitting there meditating, you kind of are, kind of thinking back and remembering the few times that you remember, back when you were younger. Everything was kind of blurry and a bit, and there was times where it was very dark. But you do remember there's a distinct memory that you have of when you were small, and you remember your brother kind of like lifting you up and spinning you around in this forest, and you remember seeing like the dapples of sun and watching his face as he's kind of like laughing, like with joy, with happiness. And you remember looking at him, and you remember just kind of admiring how soft the browns of his fur were. And now that you're thinking about it, back then he didn't turn to stone like you think he should have if you were to gaze at someone. Thinking back, he didn't also turn to stone when he popped up in front of you earlier after he climbed out of the ooze pit. And you kind of like, as you're sitting there meditating, you kind of feel your snakes kind of like restlessly kind of like moving around on your head. And it seems like you feel them as they're kind of like moving rhythmically. And it's when you open your eye, you see that they're kind of their heads are following Tarsius as he's kind of like pacing around the perimeter. And like they'll kind of like swing around one direction, and then like when he goes out of sight, they kind of swing back the other way to like see if they can catch him coming around from the other side. And they're kind of like keeping an eye on everything in general, and the only thing that seems to be stone is the cobblestones beneath your feet. But as to where this came from, who's to say? Maybe it was something that was always there. Or maybe something else pushed
I
it forward
guess
once again.
I guess with those thoughts too, she'll kind of think about, kind of mutter to herself, like in a whisper, kind of, and also kind of grabbing her snakes. Her eyes are still closed. She's gonna mutter to herself, like, I guess the curse wasn't really removed. Maybe it was just suppressed. It was maybe inside me this whole time.
Maybe the real curse was the friends we made along the way.
Oh.
Is that how that works? Okay. So, Patience, what are we doing as we're taking our rest?
Patience is just kind of like sitting over here by the sundial, just for the most part trying to kind of recover and whatnot. And we're just kind of trying to take everything in that's been happening.
Okay. As you're kind of sitting down by the sundial, Gren goes to kind of like sploot next to you, and he puts his head in your lap and just is content to lay there as he
She'll pet him.
himself catches a little nap. The way my dog just laid down in bed like he worked a 12-hour shift.
He did.
Worked so hard.
Security guard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the sigh.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
Mm.
Which Gren will do that very sigh where he just kind of like inhales deeply and just.
She's just gonna be like, "You did good back there, buddy."
And he's gonna. If you pet his head, you're gonna see his little stubby tail just kind of like wag behind him.
Aw.
So, I will say lastly, Lark and Hawk. Lark, what are we doing in this time of just sitting and resting?
He's tending to his incense that he left
Okay.
out. And he's also like, just doing his usual, like he'll say a couple prayers and then he'll start just prepping his poisons.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Angry.
Demon
was-
time.
So angry. Wait, what are we doing, Hawk?
Eventually he's going to stop crying.
Okay. Eventually.
And he's just gonna kind of like sit there and like he'll watch, and not in a creepy way, but he'll just kind of like watch Lark doing things like it's helping ground him.
Uh-huh.
And eventually, he's just gonna like sigh a little and then like very quietly, so that the rest of the party cannot hear. He's gonna be like, "Mercy, I can't fix."
What do you say?
He said, "Mercy, I can't fix this."
No one is asking you to.
I can't just let it be.
Why not?
These people didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve what happened.
There are people who don't deserve it every single day, yet they die anyway. You can't save them all.
I could have saved someone. I could have helped.
You did. You saved some people. All the people that are back at your hometown.
Hawk like it's barely a town now. I don't know.
What do you plan to do?
About what?
He just gestures with his hands. All of this. You want to sit here and continue being sad that you couldn't save everyone, or do you actually want to go and do something and save more people?
Don't do that.
Do what?
The whole. Well, there's more you could be doing. I know brooding is your gig, not mine.
Don't brood.
Hawk is just gonna look at him and like cock an eyebrow at him. You do, but that's okay. I don't know if like I'm gonna say you swing heavily between broody and aloof. Hawks be like, I don't think I can save her.
Your sister?
Yeah.
Not with that attitude.
Hawks is like, motherfucker. Not like that. I mean, you heard it. They took them. They brought them. They fucked with their heads. They fucked with their bodies. They brought them back. He all but told us that my sister was about to be Tiamat's biggest fan. And if it's anything like what happened to the rest of the town, I don't think I can save her.
So you're just going to not go? You're not even gonna give it a chance?
I mean, I'm already here. I'm going to give it a chance. But I don't think it's going to be enough.
Would your
And while
sister
that is
say if she heard you saying that?
Honestly,
That you don't think that whatever you have is not good enough to go get her. I'm going to burn down an entire village and murder anyone that comes in my way because I miss my sister.
honestly, I don't know what my sister would say. That I've been gone for 10 years, and I don't know what her real feelings about that are.
But is she going to turn you away and say, no, I don't need saving, I haven't seen you in a decade?
Speaking as the family disappointment, I would not be surprised. I did what it said I did. I abandoned them. I left her there. I know why I did it, but I still did it. Couldn't blame her for holding that against me.
Why did you do it?
Because I was tired of being made to feel like less than a person. I was tired of getting my ass kicked from one side of my house to the other.
So you left to save yourself?
Yeah.
Oh yes, what a terrible thing.
Yes, but I
If
left a 9-year-old
if your
there.
sisters, you did what you could at the time. But if you want to continue your pity party, be my guest.
Surprised that you're still here for it. Party of 2. It's a pity there's nothing to drink. And then he's gonna look down at the bottles of poison. He goes, well, I mean, there are things to, but maybe later.
I have bigger plans for this.
Oh. I only need a sip. He's just gonna like give like a really shitty grin, like You know he's not serious. He's trying to be funny, and it's probably not working. So building up stock for whatever's in here, or just in general?
In general.
Right on. You really go through this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you weren't a cleric that had the funny with the scroll with the quill, and like, I'd almost think that you were like actually poisoning people to death. But
Only sometimes.
oh, that's
So as this is going on, I'm gonna have everybody roll me a perception check.
Could be. Perception. Oh.
That's a whopping 12.
Okay.
And
12.
Okay.
21.
21. All right.
Thank God
10.
someone didn't check out. Thank God.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Oh.
So patience.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So we're gonna start with. Here's
Patience.
what's gonna work.
So
We're
the
gonna start with
pot is
patience.
my
All right.
fault.
You got this.
We're gonna
Uh-huh.
start with patience. So first things first is let me make sure that this is in order. All right. So first thing that's gonna happen, patience, is you're kind of like sitting there, petting Gren, giving him a little. You find out that he likes getting little scratches just behind the ear fins, and when you scratch it just right, you watch as his little leg just like starts to twitch.
Oh.
But as you're doing that, you start to hear like this kind of hissing noise almost. Like it sounds like a hiss to you. Or like something's whispering, but it's very loud, and it's like, well, not very loud, but like it's louder than it should be, but it also kind of just sounds like white noise at first. And like you look up, you don't quite see anybody else noticing it. But as you kind of like look up and around, this is when everybody else sees it. You start to see the hedges start to grow, and they grow taller, and they start to arch up and over until they completely blot out the sky, creating just this ceiling over all of you.
I don't like.
Mm-hmm. As the sun has been completely blotted out, there is no shadow or any tell of where to go next in this maze.
Is there enough light for us to see?
You can still see. It's very dark.
Cool.
The sun has been blotted out, and there's like everything is just like casted in this heavy shadow.
That would probably alarm Hawk enough to stand up, and he had put the stone in his pocket.
Okay.
But to take the stone
Yeah.
out of his pocket and see if it tugs like it tugged earlier.
Okay. So you take it out, and it's just kind of sitting in your hand.
Great.
Where are the other stones?
Where are the other ones?
Patience has them. She's gonna pull them out. Like if she sees Hawkins, she's like, "Oh," pulls them out. Just
Okay.
Hawk will kind of like beckon Patience over and then hand her the other one.
okay.
The placements on the sundial to put them?
Yeah, as you have 3 of them.
Is there spots on the sundial to place them that she can see?
From what you guys discerned the last time, no, there aren't any indentations. There's no specific spots or anything.
Okay, so I know we
Once
figured
they're all
out like
holding them all at once will do anything.
But they do have just like this kind of light to them almost. So as you're holding them, they just have this like, they seem to be kind of glowing within themselves, like as if
So
they
we have-
retained like the light from the sun almost.
When
So we have
moving around, do
three?
the light get any brighter or dimmer? Moving any direction?
Not that you can see.
Great.
So we have 3 of them right now, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
What? Because I know we kind of figured out like what directions we needed to go to from last time. I believe.
So we went.
Yes.
As they're looking at it, can I see the stones? Just because I'm a little bit taller than everybody else, I have an idea. My thought is just like if I get the stones, because they all have a little bit of a glow together, they might have a little bit more of a glow, and see if like I move them around the dial to see if I can cast any shadow on the dial itself to see if that produces any effect.
All right. So you do that, and you do, you know, the light does seem to increase in brightness as you kind of hold them together, almost as if they are, as they touch one another, they kind of glow a little bit brighter. And as you kind of move them around the dial, you do see like the natural shadow being casted from the light itself, but you don't seem to see like any shadow sticking in any direction. It just kind of naturally moves with the light. However, Tarsius, as you were holding these things, you kind of, innately get this sense that there is a magic to them.
They're magical.
And you do that, and you kind of, your head kind of jerks down very forcefully as you feel this like very aggressive hand on your head, kind of like holding your nose to the stones, and you hear, "Use your fucking eyes, idiot."
I was thinking about that, but hold on. I'm gonna cast my detect magic ability.
Okay. So your eyes just dilate. All right, so you cast the detect magic, and you see just this like kind of like rainbow aura around these stones.
Ooh.
And then you kind of see almost kind of like almost like a scent trail kind of wafting off of these. You watch as the trail kind of like trails off straight ahead.
Oh.
And it's like almost like connected by a string in a way. You can see the direction of which they are kind of being drawn to.
In a like childlike excitement, and with an enthusiasm that children get sometimes. Mr. Hawk, no more pity party. Let's go that way. I can see where to go.
Hawk's like, I stopped crying like an hour ago. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, we're going that way.
All right. So,
if Lark didn't already stand up, Hawk will like hold the hand out and like, all right. Uppies.
Don't touch me.
He won't say uppies, but uppies.
Don't touch me.
don't touch him.
Hand up. Look, don't read into it.
Don't touch me.
Your hand gets slapped away like several times by now.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna look at Cordelia. We're such good friends. I can see them getting an apartment together.
Oh,
Oh.
you mean it? All right. So as you follow Tarsius, using your special eyes, you follow the trail ahead as it leads you through these winding curves, and it's almost as if as you're walking with these stones, like the hedges kind of like bend to the whim of where you want to go.
Oh, okay.
And eventually, as you're kind of, with the idea that you're trying to find this tower, the hedges eventually open up.
Ooh.
And you see before you, at first, as you looked at it from outside of the labyrinth, when you had first entered the village outside of Zonthal Tower, it looked like a regular stone tower, basic gray stone, maybe like 2 to 3 stories. But as you enter into this new clearing, you see this massive tower that just seems to spiral up unendingly, and its rock seems to be made of the same kind of stone almost, but it's hue darkened in a way, but it still has this radiating iridescence to it as you just kind of like gaze up at this massive like obelisk that just kind of like keeps stretching almost as if it's going into the sky itself.
Ooh.
And before you, you see a door. And on that door, you see many different kind of, knobs kind of like in different areas, all with like, you see one that has like a clawed hand reaching out. You see one that has the head of a dragon on it. You see another that has like just like a regular iron latch to it. And just there's many more kind of appointed on this door as you guys kind of approach towards the tower. And that is going to be the point where we're going to leave off. Until next time.
Oakley dokley.
All right. As you guys approach this massive tower, you see these two stone statues kind of anointed above the door. You see a door with many different handles on it. And this massive, almost unending wizard tower. And we will see where that takes us in 2 weeks. So So next Monday should be Sea Devils, and then the Monday after that will be us continuing into the Wizard Tower finally.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. Can't wait to see y'all for Extra Life. It'll be fun. Go read my dad's book. All that good stuff. And have a good night. Night, y'all.
Adios.
Bye.
Nenes.
Bye.